Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to Perspective Voices. I am your host, Dr. Michelle Lambert-Watkins.
And I'm your co-host, Tanya Lambert-Watkins, Esquire.
And we thank you for joining us for our today's session. Before we get started, I'd like to ask you to hit the like button and the subscribe button for us. And if you know anybody that's interested in energy healing, please share this with someone. We have the amazing April Gregory, brand strategist and energy healer with us again today. And we're excited. Yay.
Yeah. Right?
Part two.
I'm happy to be back here with you, ladies. We had a great conversation. Like we started, it was really juicy. So I'm happy to reconnect here. And it's a new year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yes, yes. Perfect year to get started, right? Because this is the beginning of the year. Everybody's making their goals. Everybody is, having bigger visions for this year, want to see a lot of things done. People are hoping to leave the past behind. We've had a rough time coming through the COVID sessions and stuff like that. People has experienced loss and, death. And along with all of that, some people have experienced growth exponentially. They have expanded and things like that. And some people is just trying to figure it all out in balance, So this is a perfect time and the perfect time of the month and the year in the beginning, to get balanced, right? And to release some of those blockage and things like that. Talk to us, Miss Gregory, about what's the plans for the new year?
Yeah, I do think it's the year of the upgrade. It really is. And we're seeing that. We're seeing that in so many different areas where people are making decisions about how they want to live and how they want to conduct themselves moving forward, especially after having experienced so many losses. It's unfortunate that loss will bring us to that place, or, when you back somebody in the corner, like it's like I need to figure out a way, and I need to make my way. So it really is interesting, and I love the energy of a new year. Like I love borrowing the energy because there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of it gives you a reason to release like the old, like let it go.
Yes.
Or the reality is if you don't let it go, if you don't clear out that stuff, if you don't shake it off, if you don't get in touch with that, come face to face with your own stuff, we will be carrying it into this year, and it will be more of the same. So I think people are motivated and excited to let go of what's not necessary going into the new year.
Right.
But how do they keep the momentum going? Because most people can start
and
then, 2-3 weeks in, they fall off the wagon. How do they keep that momentum?
That's a great question. And I've had situations where it was like, I made these resolutions and I didn't come back to them, or they fell off because I really didn't make a true commitment to them. So there are a couple of things people can do is really, I think, scaling back what's not working. Like really, instead of like adding on new, scaling back, like letting go of some things, because I think people try to pile on more stuff. And it's like, do you have the capacity for more, right? Yeah. Assess that. And then let go of, before you start making all these new things, really let go of what's not working, what's no longer serving you, what you shouldn't be doing. You might have some commitments that you need to rearrange. And so one of the things that I think scaling back and looking at what you can let go of so you can create room for the new. In terms of keeping momentum, it's commitment, self-commitment. Like why are you doing, like what's the reward? I like rewards. Yeah. Like what's the payoff for the thing that you want to do? Like what's the real payoff? If it's writing that book, like, go all the way to the end of it serving other people in the world, it enhancing your business. It's just something you always wanted to do, or it's finally off your desk. Like what's the reward? If it's and then so always having your whys, and a why it's so personal. It's like, well, I just want to be the first millionaire in my immediate family. I just want to, this is the year I want to make the $1 million. This is the year I want to make 6 figures. This is the year I want to create a sustainable income for myself. So I think it's just coming down to what it is and why, like doing that work first, like, and not trying to pile on more. Accountability is announcing it. Like right now, most everything, our socialization is on social media. Like announcing it and putting it in your calendar to remind you every month, like little practical things, like this is what you said you would do.
Right.
And I don't like not following through on what I said I would do. So I think that can help some people in some ways to announce it, get accountability partners, hire a coach, hire someone that's going to help you stay committed to bringing it to pass. Because the truth is, I don't think we're ever meant to do life alone, work alone, business alone, goals alone. Like I do believe in partnerships, collaborations, support. And so really getting support is really the best way to keep the momentum.
You know, I love what you were saying about the decluttering part. I want to stop there for a minute, because I think that as a coach, I noticed that a lot of people, even with the new years or with new ideas, they never release the old. They never release the old, and they clutter more stuff on top. So they never really get to the end of the vision, because they're still trying to get through what has already been there. So I think before you start any vision, any goal, any business, any personal journey, that you must unload a lot of the stuff that you don't have no need for anymore. You know, you have to unpack all that stuff, let it go, release it, leave it behind, you know, and that comes to decluttering your space. You know, if you have not used certain things within a year, throw it out. Why are you holding on to it? You know, and your space is also, you know, a photocopy of what's going on in your inner life, the turmoil, the things that are happening. You know, being a spiritual coach, I see that a lot. So, you know, it's very important. And in the new year is the perfect space to get rid of the old. Your old clothes that don't fit you, old things that you kept and you said, I don't know why I got this pencil, but it meant something to me. Why are you holding on to it? You know, can we get rid of the pencil already? You know, and being realistic and truthful to yourself. Why are you holding on to it? And let's get rid of it, you know, so that we can clear a path for bigger and greater things to come into your life. The only person that stops your blessing is you.
Yeah. I love the idea of decluttering, because even just creating more space. Like I did a planning session with myself, and I cleared off my entire desk for the planning. It just felt so, it felt like the ideas flowed better. Yes. It was easy. I had a nice, clean desk to work with. And I think, and you know, the idea of, do you have room for what you want? Like, do you have the room? Do you have the space for this new you, this new success? And these are quick little things that you do, and you move that energy out, and then, you know, you're making way for that new thing. Yeah, I love that. I love the decluttering.
Yes. I know for Miss Tanya, you know, in her profession, she sees a lot of people who, you know, runs up into things because they hold on to things for too long. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Things that follow them, you know, and, you know, whether it be good things, bad things, she sees a lot of that. Tanya, tell us what you're thinking about the whole decluttering process.
I think it's important. You have to be true to yourself, you know. So I always say, you look in the mirror and you say, okay, what are we going to do today? Do we really need this? Do we really need it? Why do we really need it? You know, why are we holding on to it? You know, get past the surface reasons, and really dig deep and let it go. And sometimes you got to cry it out.
Yes.
You know, sometimes you got to cry it out, scream it out, pray it out.
Yeah.
And
Just let it go.
and get it out. And then you let it go, because sometimes it's the person you're releasing. Sometimes it's the grief you're releasing. Sometimes it's the hurt you're releasing. It's all of those things bottled up. And so, you know, that's all part of the decluttering, to bring in the new stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you need
You know?
you talk about crying it out, and that brings in this emotional decluttering, the emotions that are held up because we're holding on to the job, the boss, the thing that didn't work out, the relationship, the conflict, the past, you know, the childhood traumas are still there, triggers are still being made. And so when you talked about crying it out, I really like that, because there is a release. It's okay to cry and to release, and not bottle up the pain, the discomfort, and not being ashamed about it. Like,
yes,
crying and releasing and washing out, have a memorial service over it. Like,
oh yeah,
say goodbye to it. Pull out the fire pit and have a little fire and burn out of the old things. Or
absolutely.
Nothing is too extreme to get back your space, your sanity, your flow, the ease that you're looking for. So I really like, the idea of just releasing it, letting yourself, the scriptures talk about what the tears are, seeds to water your growth, the things that you're planting seeds for new growth. And so every time you cry, you can like use that scripture to know I'm watering my seed. Yes. These tears are watering my growth.
Yes. And some people, they don't want to feel the pain.
Absolutely.
They don't want to feel the pain.
Nobody.
But they have to go through the pain.
Yes.
And for the growth to take place, you have to go through the pain. You have to face it. So that's why I said, go in the mirror,
Yes.
and that helps you face yourself, look at yourself in the mirror, look into your eyes and face it.
Yeah, because you're worth it.
Absolutely.
You're worth it. And the facing it is not to, it really is just in support of yourself. Like how much do you support you?
Exactly.
How much do you love you? How much do you back yourself?
Exactly.
Like letting it go. Sometimes we're holding on for somebody else's sanity, or maybe as a way, if you let it go, you think you're gonna pun it. They won't know. It speaks to if I release this, then they wronged me, there's that thing, and that person wronged me, then it's kind of hanging out there like it's a little forgiveness work actually coming up in my thought about releasing, forgiving yourself, forgiving other people, because it does bring up, okay, how long is too long? How long will you suffer because of that thing?
Absolutely. I think a big part of it is being willing to be vulnerable with you and truthful with yourself. And if you need a partner, somebody where it is a safe place that you can cry to, then do that. You know what I'm saying? But it is being willing to look at all the hurts, the pains, the reasons why you're holding on, things of that nature, and being truthful with yourself as, is this thing benefiting you? And if it's not, then be willing to let it go and cry it out, and there's no right. I don't believe there's a right journey for yourself other than you have to know the truth of yourself and be willing to feel the pain. you know.
The thing about pain, and I think I love what you're saying, except I would say you need support. You need a coach. You need a professional maybe to walk beside you in painful situations.
Mhm.
Because what we know as coaches and as professionals, you guys experience this too. Without guidance, people make wrong decisions because of that pain.
Right.
Because of that pain, your vision is clouded and you're in a painful place. So you're not really you might be teetering on making another wrong decision that's going to sink you deeper in a place.
Into a hole.
Yeah, I think this idea of being able to support yourself with getting professional help, it's not just about us professionals wanting to, this is how we make a living. So, and we value these relationships. But I know there's a thought out there about doing it on your own. And I think DIY is kind of overrated.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always want to say, you know, I'm just blessed enough to have a best friend who is a PhD. Right. I'm in a community of coaches, but I still hire coaches.
Yes.
I still hire coaches, and my life is always better because I show up differently for myself because of that, right? Because I have the support, and somebody else is looking at me saying, like, as an attorney, I might be getting ready to do something, and she says, no, that's not how that goes. This is what you want to do instead. And so we can save you thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars, and what about the emotional distress and time?
Exactly. As a coach, I also hire coaches, you know, and work with others, and I find my safe place in my friends, you know, my family members that are in that safe place. So
Yeah.
I definitely, you know, suggest it to anyone that's walking through big decisions in life. And especially if you find yourself on a wheel in life, sometimes you find and you can recognize that, look, I've done this already. This is my second time around in this position in life, you know, and I need to do something different because, you know, we've all heard the saying that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, yes, and I think we've all done it. We're all guilty of that. So at some point, you have to make a decision and say, maybe I need help in this decision process. You know, let somebody else give me another point of view about the situation so I can change it. You know, clear out some bad energy, clear out some bad things of the past, let go, you know. And sometimes our ambition and our drive can push us in wrong directions as well as help us in good directions, because sometimes we can become like that dog with a bone. You just don't want to let it go, even though it's hurting you to the core. You do not want to let it go, whether it be in your marriage, whether it be in your business, whether it be in your personal life. And we have to make strong decisions and be able to know when helping you is hurting me, it may be time to let it go.
Yeah.
Amen.
Or even being in hard pursuit of that thing is really killing me. Yes. But I don't know it's killing me because of this drive to go after it. That's awesome.
Yes.
This is good. This is good. So you see how I love this conversation because we're setting the tone. We're setting the tone for the year. We're setting our life, and the foundation is important. And, you know, given yourself a foundation to work with. I like that you brought up looking at, like, hey, am I in a pattern here? Because sometimes we say, oh, let that go. So I've been in conversations where I really wanted to express my discomfort or whatever I was feeling about a thing, and then if somebody would say let that go at that time, and it's like I'm not ready to let it go. I need to talk about this. I need to process this. I need to I need to, you know, I want to express my feeling, my hurt, my whatever it is. And then I keep doing that. It's like, wait a minute. Why aren't you letting these things go? Because letting go is not always the easiest thing to do.
Absolutely.
And you don't know why. And that's where we get into this energy work, right? Because it's just hooking into a pattern that I have, that I keep drawing those kinds of experiences. Of course, these things are going to keep happening. I'm the one calling that experience in. And guess what? The experience is coming in because I'm a magnet for it. So it's like, if I go from this to that, to one job to another, one city to another, one man, go from one man to another, and it's the same scenarios. Those are the types of things you start to look for patterns in yourself to say, wait a minute, because it can't be all the people in the world. Like, it can't be every man is a dog. Every man, every job, every manager is horrible.
Right.
Every city is bad. Like, you have to start to look at, why I'm attracting this. You have to get to a place of taking responsibility for what's showing up in your experience and what is it teaching you. And you get to decide when and how to let it go.
That's awesome.
I call it circling the drain.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
Because you keep doing the same thing over and over, so you're circling the drain. You know, when you turn on the tap water, before it goes down, it actually circles the drain before it goes down. Wow,
that's a nice visual. Because now, if it keeps circling around, eventually it's gonna fill up. If it's
gonna fill up, and exactly, and it's gonna overflow. So I call it circling the drain.
Yeah, and make a mess. Yeah, that's a really nice visual. It's not going down the drain. And if it's something
exactly.
there, yeah, awesome. Nice visual. Nice visual.
Yes.
Yeah. So getting clear and facing some things is not the easiest thing to do, but it's worth it. And sometimes people struggle with seeing themselves in a new vibrant place, as this new vibrant, we call it in my field of work, tapping into the best version of yourself. That's not a cute saying. It's like, there is another version of you available for this next level. What does that look like? What does it sound like? Who is that person? Like, what if you have this big, because we could talk about people who have these big dreams and goals. It's like, I really want to make this happen. How do I do that?
Right. Now, tell us more about the tapping into the what is it, the higher level?
Yeah, your higher level self. There are a couple of ways to do that. We can chat through some ways you do that now, but if you think about people who let's say we have a person that is wanting to experience something else. They want a new relationship. Right. It's like, I want a new relationship, and this is we go through the things. Okay, what would that look like? What would that new relationship look like? And you go through and make your list. And what kind of person, what people fail to do, what kind of person would I need to become to allow that person in my experience?
That's good.
Who do I need to become? And it's not a putting down of yourself to say you're not good enough, but it's a true check-in with because if I've been attracting all of these type of persons in my life, but now I want something different, that means I need to become a different person to attract, because I'm attracting who I am. Exactly. Or who I am is not necessarily, I'm not a cheat, I'm not a fraud, I'm not whatever those persons were, but there's something in you that says that magnetize or allow that to be. Right? There's something in you that caved and said, I need to accept that. There's something in you that might be ignoring.
Right.
That's acceptable. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So business. Oh, I want to, there's a 6-figure crave, and then there's a 7-figure crave. I want to be $1 million business owner. Look at your business. What kind of, if you're not a 6-figure earner, what kind of business owner would you need to become to attract 6 figures consistently in your business? What kind of, and that's where you start to look at, if it feels overwhelming, if you think, oh, that's going to require me to do too much work, you have all these stories that you tell yourself of why it can't be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's an excellent example as well. If you look at a business and you want to become that business, you want to grow your business to 6 figures, and you're right now maybe a mom and pop shop, let's just say, that's not making 6 figures, then you have to revamp the business. So the business has to now revamp itself or be revamped by its owner in order to attract that number. It may require some systems change. It may require some upgrades. It may require, a whole different process in order to attract the right clientele or more clientele to get to that space, right? And the monitoring of that. So it is going back with relationships. When you made the point that you may have to look at yourself and say, what do I have to do differently? You may have to change some thought processes that you've had. You may have to say that, I've been thinking wrong about this marriage thing. I've been thinking wrong about this relationship. How do I upgrade my thought process? How do I work as a true team instead of 2 people that are individually living lives in the same house, roommates? Because your thought process may be one of a roommate instead of one of a wife or one of a husband. So you may have to upgrade that to be able to maintain the real life that you really want to explore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is. And so that's that looking in the mirror thing. Okay.
Absolutely.
So that's the look in the mirror. And go deep, as deep as you need to go, because how committed are you? It's like how there's a desire, there's this discomfort. We work as a coach, as an energy healer, I work with the gap, the stuff in the middle, so that we can close the gap.
Yes.
Right. So that you can participate, because we just know that if there's a desire, there's a way for that desire to
come out.
That's the law of polarity. You can't even have a desire, and we're talking healthy. Right. I'm talking about, oh, I want to marry her husband.
No, people, we're not talking about that kind. Not every desire, but the right desires.
healthy desires.
Yes.
Right. And we love big dreams, because big dreams create more playful energy. It creates possibility. It's expansive. It expands you when you create a big vision, right? Because you're gonna land somewhere. If the vision is kind of too small and contained in the first place, it is constricted. So pay attention to the energy around the goals that you set.
Yes, absolutely. That's awesome.
We want to bring good, strong, big energy to the goal. So you pull in the resources and the thinking to accommodate it. It's like, oh, all of a sudden you're around the right people in the right places, talking about the right things, having a conversation. You notice the email that gave you the steps that you need to follow. You read a story, somebody else did it this way, and you can pull from some of what they said. Look for the signposts to success, the signpost to success for your journey when you set it, and then you bring the right energy to it.
Awesome. That was good.
Yeah, I love that. That was good. So final words for our guests?
I think that was a good one.
You said that was a good final word.
It was.
Absolutely.
Just be kind to yourself, but require more. Go for more. Go for more. We're made to continue to grow and rejuvenate, reinvent, expand. We're made for that.
Yes.
And how can they reach you?
Oh, they can reach me at upgrademyspirit.com or by email at April. I run a marketing agency, also April at wonderwomanmarketing.com. That's my primary email, but for any of the energy healing and coaching work, upgrademyspirit.com.
And I suggest anybody that's having any blockage, anybody that's having a hard time and you're thinking about getting a coach, please reach out to Miss April Gregory at wonderwomanmarketing.com.
Yeah, April at wonderwomanmarketing.com.
There you go, people. Reach out to her. It will help. You know, it's an expansion for your life, for your business, for your family, you know, so make sure you reach out to her, and then definitely hit us up with a comment on how was your interaction with her. We love having you, great April. We enjoyed talking to you. And once again, we're going to have you back again. We're probably going to have you back again talking about the industry and marketing.
I'm here for it. Thank you for having me. Go check out perspectivevoices.com and leave your comments there for these two amazing hosts.
Thank you. And we'll talk soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.